was like, what would happen? He goes, well, then he'd fucking eat us all, wouldn't he?
Hello, welcome to the podcast, Snipers. Jane Dunc ready to rip into another episode. She's a beauty today.
Yeah, one of my favourite war stories I've read in quite some time. A poor bloke who's caught in a situation that we've probably all been caught in from time to time.
Speak for yourself.
Have you never been caught in that situation?
Not like that.
Oh, not to that level.
Not the ending on it. It's a beauty.
No, that'll rattle you.
Also, as well, we go deep on a couple of Aussie Battlers, and then Jay goes even deeper into Croc Chat from Australia, which is, pretty wild stuff.
A place that you definitely want to visit. What the perils of not plugging your headphones into your phone properly.
Yeah. A little bit of golf cart chat. Underrated golf carts, I reckon.
And the first user-generated song.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and a cappella too, which takes massive plums. Enjoy the podcast. It's going to be an absolute beauty, and thanks for joining us once again.
Do you suffer from premature ejaculation? Use Jay and Dunc on Not For Radio.
This show is supported by Classic Builders. Long story short, if you want a new home and you don't know where to start, they're a pretty safe first step.
Attention, snipers! Gear up and hold your positions. It's time to load up some war stories. Your tales from the front line, brought to life. Prepare to fire.
Can I just say happy Thursday? You're looking great.
Well, thank you very much.
I was more meaning the other people listening.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I was just
Or
saying-
watching this. Shit, you're looking hot.
So you're also looking good, resplendent in the grey, white, and red.
Yeah.
And that's just your face.
Oh, it's a beauty. Righto. Where's your war story from?
This is from Anon, which is anonymous in Liverpool. All right, boys, love the podcast. Here's a tale of my sphincter testing journey. The curry, the commute, the calamity, right? So you can call me John because that's my real name. It's currently...
Wait, can I just say...
Oh, no.
Didn't stay anonymous for long.
Sorry. No. That's where I fucked it up. So you can call me John because my real name is currently in witness protection after this sordid affair. I'm a man in my mid-40s from Liverpool, UK, and I'm a walking testament to the fact that life throws you curveballs, or in my case, slightly slowed down, wobbly pitches. Now, see, I've got a bit of a mobility issue, which means my usual pace is a leisurely stroll, and my signature walk is best described as a slightly confused penguin. Now that's just the appetizer. The main course is my bladder and bowels, which have in recent years decided they operate under the motto, when it goes, it goes. If I need a piss, it's an urgent fire alarm situation. But that, thank fuck, is usually manageable. The real drama is the other end. More times than I care to admit, I've had to contend with unwanted presence, making an unscheduled appearance in my boxer shorts, or God forbid, staging a full-on escape down my fucking trouser leg. It's not ideal, but hey, there are worse conditions to suffer from. They are. That's cup half full and pants full of shit. The scene is set a chaotic Friday after a Thursday night curry from the work lot in London. We've all been there, that post-curry farting that quickly turns into biological terrorism hours later. The motorway was already a nightmare. A typical Friday slog until some absolute decided their hatchback was secretly a battering ram and arse-ended a lorry. Cue absolute gridlock. That 5-hour drive turned into a 9-hour. Soul-crushing endurance test.
9-hour commute.
That sucks.
Crazy.
I was stuck. But hey, I had you lads in my ears, so I strapped in for the long haul. The seismic shift then, the insidious rumbling began. The curry, bless its cotton socks, had finished its digestive tour and was demanding an immediate, no questions asked evacuation. We're barely going 20 miles per hour and my mind was racing. Fuck, what's the plan? Motorway hard shoulder squat, pray for a miracle. Suddenly, I was overcome by an involuntary fart. A dry one. Oh, thank fucking heavens. But the stench, the stench. It was a chemical weapon disguised as flatulence. I slammed the windows down, cranked the AC to gale force to prevent myself from vomiting all over my steering wheel. I genuinely thought, whew, that's it, crisis averted. I was, of course, tragically mistaken. Within minutes, my internal organs went into full panic mode. My stomach felt like a hardened football. My sphincter was twitching like a faulty electrical wire, and I was sweating so profusely it looked like I just climbed out of a swimming pool fully clothed.
Can we just stop here? He's in gridlock traffic. What
Yeah.
are your options? There's very few options. Like, if it's proper gridlocked,
Yeah.
I honestly reckon you can get out of your car, you can poo on the side of the motorway, but you probably don't want to do that. Like, if you've got a takeaway cup,
Lunchbox.
Lunchbox?
There was that story recently about that lady that was.
Oh, the steamer.
Steamer.
I don't reckon it's going to be
met
that
her.
sort of consistency.
No, I reckon at that stage,
Just try and stick a pump bottle up your back.
the only reason
that.
you don't pull over in those situations normally is because you're trying to hold some form of, like
I know. So you pull over onto the side. This is provided you're not gridlocked on a part where there's high concrete walls or whatever. And then you just put your hazards on and fucking run or walk as far as you can. Then you just pop a squat.
I wouldn't. Depending on where you wouldn't want to be in a middle lane. You want to be up against the barrier in the middle,
At that point,
or outside.
At that point,
And you just
still got to do the same thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because what you do. I don't know if he's in a van, but the way of doing it is you just grab both doors, open them, and you sit between them, and you just shit, pushing you back up against the car.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
not a
that's how
bad
you get
option.
away with it. So you're basically in the pillar
If
between
you're on
the
the
front and
outside,
back.
that works. If you're on the outside of the
Yeah.
inside, that works.
Yeah.
If you're in the middle lane, someone can just look across and film you.
I think the sketchiest one I ever did was trying to wee into a can going over the harbour bridge,
Oh,
like
that's
busting for a
big
wee.
call.
Yeah, it was a big call, and I realised I wouldn't be able to do it, so I ripped the thing open. So now there's like this circle of jagged aluminium, and I'm trying to aim in there while the car's bouncing along over the harbour bridge. I was in the middle seat in the back too. With this was actually during radio school with some of my radio school friends. I was just like, we've been on the sauce after radio school, and we're heading back to someone's house, and I was like, I need a wee right now, and all we had was cans, so I had to MacGyver it open, and then I'm just like, oh man, this could be a quick circumcision if I fuck this up.
That is a rookie mistake because at least if you can just drill it through the can opening, there's not as much that could chop you. But also, once you've filled it with piss, because your bladder, it's a small bladder full, and I know this because I've had to get mine scanned, is like 300 mils. So you're
close
going
to a
over the
can.
top.
Not a lot of
Yeah,
room- there's not a
you're
lot of
going.
wiggle room.
So you want a canning plant. You want someone on the outside of you holding it. You want another one with an empty can, or if they're not empty, chop that. I'm going to need to fill it up.
Teamwork.
Or you need to be chopping one while you're pissing into the can. So
Let's
you
get
just-
back to old mate.
Okay.
I'm so intrigued to figure out what he's going to do here because this is up there with worst case scenario because he's going to have an audience if he doesn't do it right.
I was shaking like a dog trying to shit a chain. My speed crept up to 30 miles an hour, and I was desperately scanning the horizon. The plan was solidifying. Hard shoulder, emergency deployment, a quick, undignified squat, but then a glimmer of hope, a sign, services, 1 mile. 1 mile felt like 100, but I had to fucking hold on. I locked my ass muscles so tight, I'm fairly certain I pinched a nerve. I made it, just barely avoiding the nuclear option. Plan B, sticking my thumb up my rusty sheriff's badge to temporarily stem the tide. A walk and a squat, and you'd think the drama ended there, but no. My aforementioned mobility issue, combined with the extreme clenching, meant my dash to the toilet was an unholy spectacle. I was shuffling, wobbling, lurching, a perfect mashup of Forrest Gump doing the Elvis hip shake. I finally burst into the men's room. 15 cubicles, all fucking occupied.
Oh,
Fuck.
this is
fuck.
worse than the motorway.
Straight into the urinal. Straight to the urinal.
you
Have to go into
gotta.
the urinal. Sink, I don't give a fuck. Into the sink. The line was longer than the queue for a Ryanair flight, and I fucking couldn't hold it. The sphincter was losing the war. I looked around, my eyes locked into the urinals. No, too public. Then the glorious sight, the cleaner's cupboard.
I don't think anybody picked the cleaner's cupboard for the end of this story.
Tucked in the corner, the door was slightly ajar. I threw open the door, saw the mop bucket, and made a split-second and life-altering decision. I bent over that bucket and I emptied the entire contents of a London curry house into the cleaner's bucket. I wasn't just shitting. I was pissing out my ass. It was a total watery cascade, and however, I'm not a complete heathen, mind you. I used the paper towels in the cupboard to wipe my shitter, bagged the lot, and placed the soiled evidence discreetly on the top shelf. Then fucked off toward my car. Was I bollocks hanging about? However, the guilt kicked in. I pictured the cleaner's face. I had to go back. I just had to go back. I walked back into the stench-filled room, and the scene was, well, cinematic. The smell was gut-wrenching, a noxious cloud of fermented spices and regret. The cleaner was there, mop in hand, staring at the floor, which was now covered in a thin, watery layer of what I can only describe as baby shit yellow sludge, spread out in a terrifying, abstract rug pattern. People were literally fleeing the scene. Their faces are pale green. My guilt, however, proved to be as runny and fast-moving as the contents of my bowel. It evaporated instantly. I gave the cleaner a quick knowing and nod and a sympathetic, utterly hollow declaration. Fuck, there's some dirty bastards in the world, aren't there? And then I fucking legged it. Keep up the great work, lads. Sorry for the David Longy. Go long, go well, and up the motherfucking wires. Oh, that is elite.
Well done.
Elite stuff.
I think I've had enough. Like, that's a beauty, but I've had enough of the shitting stories for a while.
Shit yarn. Fucking hell.
Oh, man. So many of them start with curry, don't they?
Yeah.
And it's so good.
Well, I don't know if it's because we just don't have the constitution for it, or it's
Yeah,
just,
maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
mate. I just absolutely thumped like a big, like probably 2 kilos of chicken mince and lettuce cups. Poor.
How'd that go for you? See, this is 2 kilos of cooked.
Yeah.
So you must have cooked up like 4 kilos of chicken mince.
Oh, it would have been more, probably more. But then there was like water chestnuts and a whole bunch of spices. It's bloody delicious. It's a delicious wee menu. It's a signature in the Reeve household. But fuck, I don't know what was going on. I mean, I blame that, and I don't even remotely pass blame onto the fact that we had a terrible diet over the weekend. And
Oh, no, it's not that. No, it's not that.
must be the healthy living.
Take 2 of these and call me in the morning. Not for radio, with Jay and Dunc.
Hey, this one here is... I've got a couple of Aussie Battlers to play for you. This one is an Aussie Battler, and we bloody love him. But he's been at work, and, you know, like yesterday's podcast, the day before yesterday's podcast, everything's trying to kill you there. Everything's trying to kill you there. And this bloke's been bitten by a snake at work. Have a go at this. And you better watch this if you watch on YouTube or on Spotify or whatever.
Hey, I don't know how to document this or that. I've just been bitten by a king brown, an eastern brown. I dropped the spanner while I was working on this truck here, and look, fuck. Anyway, king browns aren't that poisonous, mate. Hey, mechanics get on with the job, mate. Don't worry about the fucking snake bite. You fucking.
And now he's in hospital.
Hey, I'm in hospital. Look at this. Look, I'm flatline, mate. I'm flatlining, mate.
And there's a photo of him. He's out to it on the green whistle, just in an absolute world of hurt.
Fuck.
That's
that. It banged him perfectly on the back of the hand.
Yeah, holy
shit.
And then I'm going to.
It must have just given the snake. I mean, they're generally speaking pretty mellow. My mate Gergs, who lives over in Noosa, we've spoken about him on the podcast before. He went out into the backyard, and his son Samuel was going, "Oi, Dad, look what I've got, And he reckons he walked out there. Samuel's about, at this stage, probably about 5 or 6 years old. He's hanging off the back of like a 3 meter long king brown snake. He's like, "I've got it by the tail." And he goes, "Let it go." He reckons he's never had that voice come out of him. He was like full panic.
Like
the
full
snake was trying to
guttural.
get away. Because he was so little, his tail wasn't that high off the ground, so the snake didn't really know what was going on. It was almost like it was stuck, so it wasn't doubling back on him. Because if you pick them right up, then they come back up themselves. But he was like, "Look what I've got, Dad," holding onto it. This thing was fucking that long.
Oh, you'll never forget that. They'll be etched into your brain as a parent. I'm just going to back it up with this as well.
This guy here is
one of the greats.
It's titled "The Most Aussie Story Ever," and I reckon between that and the guy that runs those collects the scrub balls, you know, the guy goes, "I went to a rodeo once, I got into 15 fights, I've banged 13 birds. I had 15 bottles of rum, broken nose, 2 black eyes. How many guys can say they've done that in a weekend?
He's up there.
Me lure off my rod, and I've taken about 2 steps, and then bang, just something's grabbed me here on my left leg from behind, from this blind side of me. Immediate thought was, I felt like somebody jumped out to scare me, or a mate shocked me. I've looked down, and there's an 11-foot croc hanging off my leg, and I'm up here in water. I'm holding on both hands like this. The crocodile's got me on my left leg, and I thought to myself, I'm in trouble here. I thought I better get away. And as soon as I thought that, it went slack, and a big splash of water come up, and this left leg is just dislocated. He's done the death roll. This leg's popped out like a matchstick. I heard it go crack. My little dog, Dig, he was there barking, carrying on. I looked over my shoulder. I could see the crocodile's tail coming up the other side of the creek. Dig's barking, carrying on, and poor little bugger. I grabbed him, and I've just started hitting the crocodile on the head with him.
With the dog?
With the little dog, thinking maybe he might let go of me and take Dig, but nah, the crocodile's pulled again, and I've let go of Dig, and I've grabbed on with both hands again. I've turned around, Dig standing on the crocodile's back, ankle deep in water.
Has he got both legs
He's
at
got
this
both
point?
legs. So I've ripped my finger off. I'm holding on again. All my fingers hanging down here, looks like KFC chicken bone sticking out. And the crocodile, he's rolled again, popped, and he's dislocated this leg as well then. And that's when I really thought, I'm going to die here. And I started yelling out again, help, Croc, help, Croc. Next minute I heard his voice. Albatross pub was about 300 metres away, and a lady named Raylene Motton, she's come out for a durry, and she's come over, and I heard, help's coming, love. Oh, mate, and that was my second wind. A bloke named Kevin Bevan, he was driving through the pub car park.
Bevan?
He was looking for his dog, funny enough, and she's ran up to him, and she goes, someone's in trouble, a crocodile, I think. And he's come rumbling through the bushes there, and I'm holding on to this up here in water. All my pants are hanging down my legs, and he's like, Toddy! We knew each other, funny enough. And I'm like, Kevin! He goes, where's the croc? I said, it's on my legs. The crocodile's let go because obviously he startled him, and he's pulled me up. He's dragged me up the bank there. I'm grabbing him, hugging him, all my fingers hitting him in the face. He's like, get that finger out of my face. And he goes, you bit your old fella off. Took all my pants down. I looked down, we started laughing, it was still there. And he lured.
Oh my God, it's so
Isn't it the
wild.
wildest, man? That is so Australian. Man, that is. It's so tricky. And we went to the Daintree Rainforest, beautiful part of Queensland. And we went there as a couple, this girl that I was seeing, and we got this tour. The first tour was with an Aboriginal guy that was from there, family was from there. And he was, this isn't like, because he was a few years older than me, and he was one of the sole survivors from a mass shooting of his family. Because this is back in the day when you could they would class as flora and fauna Aboriginal people in Australia. And so this was in like 87 maybe a bit earlier, maybe 86, 85, 86. Anyway, so he chased the stingray up this estuary and then just heard bang, 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 bang. And like 10 of his family members were killed. What? Yeah, by local farmers that had been on the piss at the river.
That is
horrendous. And so that rattles you. And then he goes, because they still live in the area, they're like, it's all, we aren't separate to the land. We are the land. Like the Aboriginal people were such a beautiful, beautiful culture. He was like, there was 400 different tribes or areas basically, and they would have almost no corresponding language between them. So you imagine they're all one race of people, but they're so completely different cultures. In terms of how they would operate, very very similar, and they'd do these trades and he was saying that even on the Daintree Rainforest now, I don't know when the last one was. You'll probably be able to find it. He's like, on average, a person every week gets taken by a crocodile. Like it'll be,
It's crazy.
yeah, and because you can't, it's obviously illegal to hunt crocodiles. But now, when they hunted them out to almost extinction, since they haven't been touched, he goes, the big ones that you don't see are the ones that were around when they were being hunted, and they would have been pretty big then, but they are fucking ginormous now. And so we went out that night with a guy who takes you out on the river for these crocodile tours, and we were on this boat, and there would have been.
I see. I've got crocodile tour. You paid for that?
Yep.
Fucking hell.
And so the boat would have been maybe the length of the studio. What would you say that would be? So maybe 7 meters, 8 meters.
Yeah,
maybe?
8 meters.
And so we were in the boat, and he goes, well, if you just turn your head slightly to the left, nice and slow, because cut mode and we're just basically drifting.
Yeah.
And he goes, about to come past us is one of the bigger crocodiles that you'll see on the Daintree. And we were sitting at the back of the boat, and this fucking thing that looked like a bus, like it would have been wider than the table here, rolls up past the boat, and it was bigger than the boat by a good measure. Yeah, and I was like, what would happen if he flipped us out, or could he flip us out of the boat? And he goes,
Piece of piss.
Piece of piss. And, and then I was like, what would happen? He goes, well, then he'd fucking eat us all, wouldn't he? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And he goes, and what? And I said to him, why doesn't he eat us? And he goes, there's a local cane farmer who's got basically keeps the fucking thing full so it doesn't fuck with anything. So he basically sacrifices a cow every week to this thing. It's like a ritual. Just ties it up like Jurassic Park next to the fucking thing, and it comes up and smacks it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and because he's there, there's no other crocodiles in that stretch that fuck with anybody. So there's no other big aggressive males, because the females are generally quite chill.
Yeah, okay.
The males are the ones that do the damage. He goes, you have a big male croc that dominates the area and it doesn't get fucked with. He goes, I wouldn't go swimming there, but it doesn't have the same impact as if
There's
there
a
was
whole bunch of
heaps
hungry males.
Yeah, going against each other.
Oh my gosh. Do you reckon it makes those parts, because you remove all the deadly things from Australia and you can enjoy the beautifulness of it way easier, but maybe that makes it even more special, Like you've got to fucking put your life on the line to see some of the stuff they've got. You just see them and you just know that they're sizing you up. We spoke to that lady that kayaked around the whole of Australia, remember? And she had a saltwater crocodile follow her for days. Just cruise behind you, being like, you'll tire.
Yeah, eventually you'll wear out. And there's another guy that retraced the footsteps of a famous plane crash, and they lived in the Northern Territory, and he was sailing around. They made a boat that was very similar to the one that they had off the floats of the seaplane that they crashed in or whatever. And he goes, this thing followed me and would follow me when I'd go into shore, and he'd have to have his boat out. If the tide came in, he wasn't allowed to go near his fucking boat until it was at a point where he could see the water, so he could get back into the boat and then fuck off again. Because he's like, you just know that he's waiting till it's just a little bit too deep and I'm too slow to move. He's like, anything over my knees.
There's a story this week from the bloke in South Africa, a restaurateur, got mowed by a 4.5 metre saltwater crocodile, and they found the thing quite bloated, and it was obviously he'd been in there for a while, but they found his wedding ring. Yeah. And they reckon that wasn't the first human that it's taken. It was getting helicoptered out under under the helicopter. It was like, what was it, 500 kg or something?
Yeah, you've never seen anything like it. No shit, this crocodile would have been that long. It was fucking ginormous.
Let's just take a quick break and hear from Glenn.
I'm trying to drive to work after a big weekend, and you fucking Siri this. Hey Siri. I've got fucking about 4 timers now. Trying to bloody remind me when a 5-minute timer's up. Ah, jeez. You fucking legend anyway. Go well, fellas. Go well. Go long and up the wires. Great win on the weekend.
Oh, it was a great win. Yeah, no, that was when I was trying to show everyone my Indian Siri.
Yeah.
You heard it on the drive down to Duction.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, mate, it's so funny when just getting to play songs for us. It was classic.
Might as well do another couple of voice memos while we're here. Let's go to Jake, who's all about the skids, apparently.
So last weekend, I was skidding my Commodore wagon. After getting my set all the way down to wires, I drove off about 3 Ks to go change a set. After putting the fresh tires on, I was pulling the jack out under the car. 2 coppers pulled up behind me at about midnight. They obviously would have gotten a call about sound on skids. They went to go check it out, seen a skid car jacked in the air, changing sets. Told them I got a flat. They let me go. Anyways, love the Poddy.
That's your classic case of
got away.
Oh, well, can't be fucked. Let him go.
Yeah, it's the changeover there. Someone was telling me, some career criminal was telling me the changeover time, the shift changeover, one of the first things that you'd learn as a career criminal, this is back in the sort of 70s, is that you'd figure out when the cop shifts were changing, because he reckons about the last hour if they don't do their paperwork before they fuck off, then they kind of get reprimanded for it. So there's this gap where there's like an hour where there's no one on the beat.
I'm sure that used to be the case, Jay. Probably
Oh, of
isn't so
course it
much
is.
now. I
There's-
mean, they've been filling out on their iPads inside the
Yeah.
cop cars and stuff.
Yeah, so-
Surely, yeah.
So this is when they'd go back into it, and they were different. They're different times in different towns. So sometimes they'd have 3 shifts on. Sometimes they'd be doing 12-hour shifts depending on what it was. And so when he was operating down in Christchurch, this bloke, and so he was like, I knew exactly when they'd be doing it. It'd be between 6 and 7 p.m. was when they'd do this changeover. So there'd be the other cops would be sitting there having their briefings for the evening or whatever it was, and the other cops, the day cops, were doing their paperwork so they could fuck off and not have to do it after they'd finished their shift.
So funny.
And there's just no one around.
My mate in small town New Zealand, he's bought himself a golf cart because they've gotten really into golfing, and he knows the cops roster because there's only so many cops in this small town in the North Island. So he'll drive his golf cart around town, but only when the cops he knows who are his mates are on, because he knows he'll just get a slap on the wrist. And when the new cops that come to town are there, he doesn't drive the golf cart around town.
I reckon they need to make it easier to put a rego on a warrant on a golf cart, eh?
You don't need to. You can drive them on the footpath.
Oh, well, you'd be a fuckwit if you did that.
That's how everyone drives them at the mount.
Do they?
Fuck yeah. But there's a distance. There is a distance that you're allowed to drive them. That's the same. Like there's I don't know what it is, but if you have there's a farm registration that you can have for motorcycles,
Yes. Yeah.
and I think it's within 20 kilometers or something of the farm. I don't know what it is. Anyway, you can get some fucking souped up shit, as you know those Can-Ams, the Force, not the Can-Ams, the
Polaris?
kind of like a Polaris, but they're the off-roady, jumpy, hard out ones. Yeah, you can get one of those, the Ford or one of those, and they've got quite a decent range on them or whatever it is. And there's a dude that drives one around the mount in summer because he must have a farm in like Papamore or something. And it's so loud and it looks so sick. It just looks like it just like at the the flash of the throttle, it could fuck off down a beach access and you'd never see it again.
That's so sick. What else? Oh, we got a song sent to us. Should we play that and do a war story?
Yeah.
On a warm summer's eve, on a train bound to nowhere, I met up with a sniper. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns in playing subscription-only episodes, listening to the crook yarns, reminiscing about teaks. Then somewhere in the darkness, our faces lost expression, with a story about a water tank and a decomposing sheep. You gotta know when to know when. There's been some JST, and no J will tell you he grew up on a farm. You gotta count your blessings when you're listening to the podcast. Now say with me the catchphrase up the fucking walls. You gotta know when to know when.
Know when.
There's been some JST, and no J will tell you he grew up on a farm.
On a farm.
You gotta count your blessings when you're listening to the podcast. Now say with me the catchphrase up the fucking
was. Oh.
Jeez, send that bloke a hat.
Yeah, that's outstanding.
Fucking incredible.
Absolutely outstanding.
Well played. Didn't have a name with that, but
No.
you know who you are, and hopefully you hear this as well. Been
You got to know when to know when is a fucking great slogan.
Let's do the final war story. That'll be it.
Snipers, reload. Another war story incoming. Eyes on target, scopes dialed in. Let's see who hits the mark.
This one from Marky Mark and Todong. And g'day, Jay and Duncan, the great man producer. Guessing that's you, Benny boy.
I'm hoping so. You guys have got someone else that's doing it in the background.
Long-time listener, first-time war story contributor here. I'm a proud member of the Sniper Elite living down here in Papamore.
You would have got an absolute treat. Then you'll know that Tuesday's episode, the Sniper Elite episode, was probably one of my favourites, and it has it's a challenge to you. Do you know a crooker set of brothers than what is described on the Tuesday episode, the Sniper Elite episode? They are fucking outrageous.
I literally got a message from my sister yesterday, and she was just like,
Did she find it funny or disturbing?
"Nah, she loved it." She said, "I'm 8 minutes into your latest episode, so this is Tuesday's one, and man, I needed those laughs. Just finished 4 days solo parenting and about to head into another 2 weeks. But your podcast just keeps getting better and better."
Great stuff.
It's just a massive escape. Yeah, that's a wild episode. If you just want to have a wee dance on the subscription, link in the show notes. Tuesday's episode is all time. So,
Karma.
back to the war story. I had a moment last Thursday that has potentially barred me from Air New Zealand for life. I was flying home from Auckland to Tauranga. We'd just boarded, and like any functional member of society, I had the Poddy fired up. I was using a pair of absolute dog box, cheap as chips headphones that had been cutting in and out in one ear all morning, and so I was constantly fiddling with the jack. We're sitting on the tarmac, waiting for some baggage issues to clear up, and it's one of those dead silent cabins where you can hear a pin drop. Just as Dunc starts deep diving into the logistics of reading Braille with his ringhole, I let out a little snort chuckle. I noticed the bloke next to me starts laughing too. He's got no phone, no headphones, nothing. And I'm thinking, Stoke, this fella must be having a great Tuesday. Then Benny Boy starts getting into the finer details of his homemade adult films. Suddenly, the old duck in the seat in front of me whips around and hits me with this death stare so cold that I could have caught frostbite. I'm confused as hell until old mate next to me gives me the gentle nudge and leans in and goes, "Bro, your phone is playing through the speakers." The headphones had fully shat the bed. I hadn't just been listening to the Poddy. I've been providing the in-flight entertainment for the first 4 rows. I spent the rest of the flight staring out the window and praying for an engine failure so I just wouldn't have to make eye contact while disembarking. Stay filthy, up the canes and up the mother trucking wires.
Shit,
Amazing.
that is good.
Yeah, that's beautiful stuff.
There's-
That wouldn't be the first time at all.
Nah, shit, no. Nah, because you know when you're like, oh, geez, it's quiet, and then you pump it up, and you think you're listening to it through your cans or your headphones, but you're actually just hearing it come through the speaker, and so people are just too polite to go, oi, fucker. Because that flight's only 25 minutes from Auckland to Tauranga. It's a fucking up and down flight, and you're basically 2 and 2 in a centre aisle. It's a little steel pencil of death.
Oh, well, you know what they say, any publicity is good publicity.
Have you had an accident at work that wasn't your fault? Call Jay and Dunc on Not For Radio.
That's Thursday's episode. Thanks to our sponsors, Classic Builders, 30 years in the game, teams across New Zealand, and they'll talk you through whether you're after a house and land package or a design and build. Which one's going to work better for you? They'll help you get it sorted out.
Ironically, there was more than likely a member from Classic Builders on that flight heading back probably from doing some work in Auckland. Going back to the epicenter, the home, and the heart and soul of Classic Builders in Tauranga.
You're probably not wrong. Hey, have a great rest of your day. Go well, go long.
Up the wires.
Up the wires.
You've been listening to Jay and Dunc's Not For Radio podcast. Thanks for listening. I hope to see you soon.